Zoe, thank you so much for joining
You're
us.
welcome.
We talk a lot about the medical journey, but lived experience is just as important. Despite your medical training, your diagnosis wasn't straightforward. Can you tell us a little bit more about your journey?
So I started to get symptoms from around about 14 years old.
Mm.
I started to obviously get really heavy period pains, or heavy periods and heavy period pains. Probably when I was about 18, I started to kind of get more investigations done. I was put on, like, say, the tranexamic acid. They offered me straight away all the contraception. So I had, I have the coil now, which is amazing. But before that, I also had the rods. I had different pills. They tried to put an injection, all these things that obviously just didn't work. And then it took until I was 24 to be formally
It's a long
diagnosed.
time.
Yeah, and in that time, I even was going through studying, obviously, to a healthcare degree as well, and it still took that amount of time. This included trips to A&E, where they were under the impression that I was just having a miscarriage. She would turn up the same pain and bleeding a lot, and the A&E nurse I said, "Oh, it's probably just a miscarriage," and just kind of put me into a bay. Um, and then say it was when I was about 24 years old that I had my laparoscopy. During that time, I was actually working in women's health. I was working in gynecology and breast surgery. We were carrying out laparoscopies daily. So I was, say, in and amongst it.
I guess you were seeing
I was seeing it. I
endometriosis.
was seeing endometriosis and the ablations every day, and it still took me this long to kind of go through it all, get diagnosed, which I think is how I've ended up here working in a fertility clinic. When I got diagnosed, I had just broken up from my boyfriend at the time. I was in recovery, and the doctor came up to me, told me about my endometriosis, and said to me, if I was you, I wouldn't wait too long to have children. I was just out of a long-term relationship, and I was just about to go travel to Australia at the time, and I was
Not
like,
the best
not the
timing.
best time. And I was
No.
24 years old as well, when at a
Mm,
time when I don't think you really start to think about your fertility then.
mm,
So all of a sudden, this was all kind of pushed onto me at probably one of the worst timings ever.
mm,
Um, and
mm.
then so I did go to Australia, and then I came back. COVID happened. I worked in ITUs, I worked in theatres, I worked kind of cross, and then I found myself working here in fertility.